What's up everyone? Tomorrow night I am headed on my very first solo backpacking trip. I am taking my two Huskies, Luna and Kaya. Not sure if that still counts as solo. What it does mean is I'm just hauling more gear, so I think it still counts. I'll walk you through everything I'm taking on this trip for myself over here on this side, and everything I'm taking for my two Huskies over here on this side. We will be in the mountains for 3 days, 2 nights, and we'll be hiking a total of maybe 15 to 20 miles. We'll see how it goes and what kind of day hikes we can fit in. I'm really excited to get out in the mountains tomorrow. It's going to be a great trip. So let's take a look at the gear. First up, the big three. I am taking a tent from Bestport. It's a 2-man tent or a 1-man and 2 husky tent. This will actually be the first time I'm using this tent on a trip. I usually take a larger one because somebody else is coming with me. But for this time, 2-man tent or 1-man and 2 husky tent. The reason I went with this tent is because I do have a 3-man from this same brand. It's affordable and it's worked great. I'll let you know what I think. I am taking 2 sleeping pads, the Thermarest Z-Lite, as well as my Sleep Ingo. I just did a review of both of these pads as well as a few other budget options. I'm taking both because the temperatures will get down to freezing at night and I want the R value of both of these put together. For my sleeping bag, I'm not going to pick it up because it's under everything else, but it's nothing special. It's an old Slumberjack that I've had for a really long time. It keeps me warm, so I keep using it. For pillows, and yes, I said pillows, I'm taking 2 Outdoor Vitals inflatable pillows. This is a genius idea that I got from Dan Becker when he mentioned that he takes 2 pillows. I like having 2 pillows at home. Not sure why I never thought to take 2 on a backpacking trip. For my cook kit, I've got a cup just for measuring water mostly. This nice budget backpacking stove, I did a video on this as well. I'll put a link to that up here. Some fire starter, a lighter, and then an isobutane canister. And just a simple aluminum pot with lid. For utensils, I have this, long handled titanium spoon, nice and light, and I don't get my fingers dirty trying to scoop food out of the bottom of the Mountain House bag. Also taking my Gerber dime knife. This is a great multi-tool knife, screwdriver, tweezers. Really like this knife. For storing my food at night, I actually have this rodent bag so I don't risk rodents chewing into my dry sack, getting into my food. I'll be hanging that in this dry sack, and before I put it in the rodent bag, just to make sure I have double coverage for potential rain, just a 2-gallon Ziploc bag. I'll hang it from the trees using this paracord and carabiner just to make sure nothing can get to my food. I want to eat my food, nobody else. For filtering water, I'm taking my Katadyn Be Free, and then so I can carry additional water, I'm also taking a smart water bottle with a sport cap. I'm of course taking my headlamp and additional batteries. I do have extra batteries in my first aid kit in case these ones run out. A compass, as I've said in other videos, I typically use my cell phone as my main source of navigation, but I do like taking a paper map and compass just as a backup. Side note to myself, I still need to print the map out of my route from All Trails. I'll remember to do that before I go. Let's scoot all this a little bit closer, shall we? As I mentioned already, it could get a little cold at night in the morning when we start hiking, so I am taking some warmer clothes. I have my thermals, I am taking my rain jacket, and in this dry sack is my puffy coat. And of course some extra socks. I'll change into these at night, make sure my feet stay warm. Good to have an extra pair of socks. I've read up on my route on All Trails before I go, and I've read that there is still some snow on parts of the route. So I am throwing in my micro spikes so that I have them just in case I need them. Can't take a backpacking trip without taking the business tools, shovel, toilet paper, and some wipes just in case. Toiletries, nothing too exciting here. My DIY backpacking first aid kit, I did do a video on putting this together. I'll put a link to that one up here as well. Has everything that I need in it, including some ibuprofen, antidiarrheal, allergy medication, and other things. Some hand sanitizer, and a couple luxury items, a book by John Muir that I can read while the dogs are taking a nap, and a journal and my New Testament. Again, just some nice reading while the dogs are taking their naps. Let's scoot this up a little further. Since I do take a fair amount of electronics and rely on my cell phone as my main source of navigation, I do take a rather large power bank. This will give my cell phone probably 4 additional chargers, which there's no way I will need, but it will also charge my GoPro and all the other electronics that I'll show you in a second. I'm also taking a small one just in case. Good to just take a little bit of extra power. Other electronics I'm taking, my GoPro of course, so I can take some footage, a light for my GoPro so I can hopefully get some good video at night, My Garmin InReach Mini, I actually just got this and will do a video on why I chose this as my personal locator beacon and satellite messenger instead of a bunch of other options that are out there. Other electronics, my microphone will be in this bag. Obviously it's right here right now, but that's what the bag's for. All the charge cords I need, and then a remote so I can take pictures, hopefully, of me and the dogs together, and some headphones. I don't take my AirPods or other Bluetooth items because that's something else I have to charge, and then it will drain the battery on my phone. So I just take old school headphones, and then a tripod and a monopod, again, just to help with getting pictures and video of my trip. So other than my food, that's everything that I'm taking for myself. Let's take a look at what I'm taking for the dogs. The first one will probably raise some eyebrows. These are actually pop-up crates for the dogs. Pops up into a 36-inch crate, so it's a nice place for them to take their naps. They're crate trained. This is their first time going on a backpacking trip together, so I want to make sure that they both have a nice, comfortable place where they can relax and get the rest that they need. Since it is going to get cold, even though they're huskies, I want to make sure that they're nice and warm. I'm just taking these fuzzy blankets from Walmart. I think they were a couple dollars a piece. Nice small blankets that fold up pretty small, but give them some extra insulation when they're sleeping. I do also have another, here's mine. Here's one for the dogs. I actually cut it in half. I just have it strapped together right now, so I can put one under each of them while they're sleeping. During the summer, we don't take these, but it's gonna get down to freezing at night, so I wanna make sure that they're insulated from the ground. I do take a long rope. I use this to tie between two trees and then attach their leashes to it so they have some room to wander and I don't have to worry about them wandering off. This is really nice to give them a little bit of freedom without stressing out about it. These two carabiners to attach their leashes either to my waist or to the rope, like I just said. Two small lights. I put these on their collars at night. Some Musher Secret Wax to treat their paws after our hikes. A small microfiber towel so I can wipe off their paws before they get in the tent. Some mountain biking gloves just to help with holding leashes. And again, it might be a little chilly, so keep the hands warm and keep them from getting worn out by the leashes. I do bring their leashes. My dogs always hike on leash, for now at least, until they have more training, so bring in the leashes. For eating and drinking for the dogs, I am bringing this Rough Wear Trail Runner bowl. This I'll use just for water while we're hiking, and then for eating, I just bring these two really lightweight Tupperwares. It works better for their eating, and that way I don't have to buy two $15 Trail Runner bowls. These are a lot cheaper. And although it's not necessarily part of your base weight, next up is the food. So I've got some air-dried food for the dogs as well as some snacks for them to chew on at night. And then here's everything that I'll be eating. So that's what we'll be eating. And that's what I'm taking on our trip. I'm gonna pack all of this stuff in my Osprey Aether 70 AG that I've got behind me right here. My dogs are still a little bit young to be carrying their own gear, so for now I'll be carrying everything for them. Good thing I have a nice big pack to fit it all in. I did do an overview of the Osprey 70 Aether AG. I'll put a link to that video up here. I love that pack. It should fit all of this gear, no problem. First solo backpacking trip, bringing the dogs along. It will be a nice 3-day, 2-night getaway up into the mountains. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'll make sure to share the adventure when I get back. Remember, life is better with some dirt in it.